right now is definitely young quarterbacks in the NFL. These guys are coming in, they're playing well, they're playing with poise. They're not making mistakes. They're not trying to do more than they can. And the coaches are doing right by them and opening up the playbook as need be, as they can take on those plays. They're not trying to make a player fit a system. They're having the system fit the player. And that's what you need to do to be a successful coach. That's why Bill Belichick is considered the greatest coach of all time, because he makes his system fit what his players can do. He takes players that have specific skill sets and he goes, look, this is what we're going to do. This is how it's going to happen. That's good coaching. That's smart. Everybody should be doing that. You got guys Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott. They're both right around 100 passes right now to start off their seasons without an interception. The record is Warren Moon at 103. That's going to be broken this weekend. As soon as one of these guys starts throwing a couple passes, record's broken. I highly doubt Wentz, who's one behind him, is going to throw an interception on his first pass, so he's most likely guaranteed to tie the record at very least. It would be shocking to me if his first pass this week is an interception. Dak Prescott, he's at 99. He should also pass Warren Moon this week. I don't see him, in his first few passes with the way he's been playing, throwing an interception either. Now, like we talked about, most likely there's a good chance. There's a really good chance that when Romo comes back, Dak Prescott goes back to the bench. If Romo's right, if he's healthy, if they're really fully committed to him, and that money they just signed him to last year or the year before, Romo's going to play, especially if they're contending, because he has the experience. He has the in-game knowledge. Just like what the Broncos did last year when Osweiler got him through that stretch while they were letting Manning get fully healthy and take a big, long rest to be ready for the playoffs. Which, if you didn't know that was coming, I'm sorry for you, but it was obvious what was going on. That very well could happen with Dallas this year. It could also be a similar situation as with Drew Bledsoe in New England and Drew Bledsoe in Dallas. Because face it, New England, Drew Bledsoe got hurt, Tom Brady took over. Dallas, Drew Bledsoe got hurt, Tony Romo took over. So, we'll have to see what happens there for sure. Trevor Siemian, he looks like he's going to ride out the season right now, but defenses now have tape on him. They didn't have tape on him before. You can't use preseason tape to define a guy. But you now got 3 games of tape. You got 1 game where he put up big numbers passing the ball. So now you're going to start seeing these defenses game plan different. They're not going to be daring him to throw the ball over the top. They might not load the box as much. You're going to see some different coverages, some roll coverages, some different zones. So I'm not saying Simeon's going to fall apart and disappear, but you're going to see a different Simeon for sure. The bad. This is bad for everybody else in the NBA. It's not bad for this player. But Anthony Davis of the New Orleans Pelicans is getting bigger. This guy has all the skill set, and he came back an inch taller than he was last year. This is a guy who played at 6'10", 6'11", so you're looking at maybe a solid 7-footer now with small forward skills. I'm not going to call him guard skills because he's too long and lanky. I think Anthony Davis could be a player who challenges for MVP awards if he goes out and gives 100% every night, all game long. I think he's one of those players who has to put it together because he's always been so freakishly athletically gifted and tall and long that against younger competition, he didn't have to give 100% to dominate. But when he does in the NBA, he can dominate. And I would love to see that this year. It's good to see that he's still growing and getting bigger. Maybe he'll fill out a little more. But look for him to definitely have another big year there in New Orleans. The ugly is definitely Jerry Jones, and not because of all the face skin that he's had pulled back to make himself look young, not because he owns the Dallas Cowboys, not because he's the owner who is also the GM. The ugly is Jerry Jones because of what he did this week, the speech he gave to his team and Dallas Cowboys employees. basically telling them that he owns them. He brought everybody together, said you are basically actors on a stage. That stage, that football field, I own that, and you will do what I say or I will fire you. You're going to stand for the national anthem, you're going to put your hand over your heart, or you're out of here. Now, at this point, I'm thinking, that's a bunch of grown-ass men. And you're going to treat them like you own them. Or they better do what you say or get out. I would love nothing more than for some of his best players to take a knee or put their hand up this weekend. A Dez Bryant, a Dak Prescott. But you know what? I bet all of them are too weak, too scared, too about that money to make a stance. I bet they fall in line and do exactly what they're told. And remember, the NFL, they get paid to have their players out there. You think they want that money to go away? Jerry Jones is showing you that he don't want that money to go away. He's showing you that $1 million is still important to him. Or $5 million, whatever the NFL got paid. But that's just ugly. I'm sorry, I don't like that. You don't get to tell another grown man what to do because you're cutting his check. Or what he can think. This is supposed to be the land of the free, right? Feel how you want about the flag. Feel how you want about social injustice. Don't try and impose it on somebody else by threatening them with their livelihood, with their money. That's ugly. That's wrong. Shouldn't have been done. Don't support it. All right, on the other side of the break, we'll hit some other topics. Do the Broncos have their Tom Brady? Does Greg Hardy need another chance? And you know, we'll get real. Hey guys, the NFL is back. It's time to win some cash playing fantasy football. TheDirtCannon.com is a local company that has your back. They have produced over 60% winners on FanDuel, DraftKings, and now even Yahoo. TheDirtCannon.com will help you build, play, and win. Build a better team with TheDirtCannon.com. Use promo code RDST and get $5 off forever. And try the silver membership this week for free. Visit TheDirtCannon.com. Again, guys, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep repping it. TheDirtCannon.com, local company here in Colorado. They helped me win my game last week. You guys need to check them out for sure. TheDirtCannon.com. Check them out. I'm telling you, use the code RDST. Get that money off. Then you start winning money. All of a sudden, you pile in paper. It's real talk. What do you want to do? Do the Broncos have their Tom Brady? I've been hearing this talked about this week. Listening to different shows. Listen to everybody get excited about Trevor Siemian. How great he did. Let's praise the quarterback once again. All right, look. Cincinnati basically put Siemian in a position to do well. All they needed was good play calling. Okay? They loaded the box up. They dared him to throw the ball. They didn't dare him to throw it over the top, but you know when you go man-to-man, that's what's going to happen. Siemian got lucky on the second touchdown to the second touchdown he threw to Emmanuel Sanders. Sorry, his name was escaping me. The second touchdown he threw to Emmanuel Sanders, he missed the defender's hand by a fingernail. And people want to say, oh, that's skill. You got to be so talented to make that throw. No, that's pure dumb luck, people. When it's that close, it's not like he fed it in over his shoulder or dropped it in on a dime from up high. He barely missed the defender's hand on an out route. It easily could have been picked off, and then that guy's gone instead of the Broncos scoring a touchdown. There were a couple other passes that should have been intercepted. So let's hold our horses on announcing Trevor Siemian the next great quarterback. The Broncos played a good game. There were plays that went their way on Sunday. They picked up a big win against a good team that had a bad game plan. They tried running the ball, Cincinnati did, and they did well in the first half. And then because they got behind, they started throwing it all over the place in the second half. Excuse me. And, they just didn't have any consistency or balance to their offense at all. It was just a bad game plan from Cincinnati. So let's see what Simeon can do. Like I said, now there's tape on him. We'll see what he can do. I say, is he the next Brady? People say that because they're both the 7th round picks. They both sat at first. They both are smart because of the schools they went to. They're both accurate. They both throw a nice spiral. They both stand in the pocket. Trevor Simeon is not going to be the next Tom Brady because he was a 7th round pick. Trevor Simeon's going to be Trevor Simeon. So we can just end that conversation now. We can end the conversation about Greg Hardy. He got arrested again and said somebody slipped the cocaine into his wallet at the club. We can pretty much stop talking about Cutler at this point. His coach said his job isn't guaranteed, and this is a guy who has Brian Hoyer as a backup. We can stop talking about the Anthony Davis of the San Francisco 49ers, as this 26-year-old kid has now retired for the second time for the same reason, citing that he wants to be healthy later in life. Then why did you come back, fool? You just look stupid now. And the Cardinals long snapper, we can stop talking about you. You had a bad night the other day, and you lost your job this week, so you're done. It's that time in the show. We're wrapping up. Let's get real. Alright, I'm going to be real with y'all. I made preseason predictions. I did what everybody else did. I'm clearly getting some of them wrong at this point. There are 2 teams right now in the NFL, 2, that have a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense. One of these teams I predicted would be last in their division. One of these teams I predicted to win their division. The team that I am horribly wrong at this point is the Philadelphia Eagles. They have the number 1 scoring defense in the league, and they have the number 2 scoring offense in the league. Made me eat crow. Keep riding, Philadelphia. Do what you do. Play as a team. Let Carson Wentz take you as far as you can go. The other team that has both a top 5 scoring offense and defense right now is the New England Patriots, and they come in at 5 on both of those lists. We kind of expected New England to be good on offense based on, just having Gronkowski and Brady coming back. We didn't expect, and I mean Edelman too, obviously. LeGarrette Blount is balling out of control right now. Their offensive line is playing very solid. They're getting great play calling out of Josh McDaniels, who I really hope stays in New England and does not come to Detroit with Bob Quinn. Other teams in the top 5 on scoring defense, Seattle's 2nd, Minnesota's 3rd, and the Baltimore Ravens, surprisingly, are coming in 4th on that list. Other teams in the top 5 scoring offenses, Atlanta is 1. We talked about them earlier with Jeremy. San Diego's currently sitting at 3rd. Denver is the 4th highest scoring offense, and tied for the 5th position, Indiana, New England, and my Detroit Lions. And that's what it is. That's as real as it gets. Again, I want to thank Rachel Finningworth out there in China for her donation. I want to thank Dion Wainwood for his donation, and I want to thank the DirtCannon.com for their donation and for being the official fantasy partner of Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. That's the show tonight, guys. I appreciate the love. I appreciate you listening. And until next time, you know what we do. Just be real.